Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Go ahead, hit the like, hit the share. This video, I'm just going to address this common thing that I just keep hearing, because I had a whole lot of people in their feelings this last week about the things that I've posted on my social media. And the first thing these people like to come and say is, "You're defending a monster. Boo-hoo. Why are you defending this predator?" Well, the very first thing I always ask these people when they initiate a conversation with me is, have you researched the facts regarding this man's charges? And it's funny, all these people with such a great opinion always have the same answer, and that's no. All they can do is give an emotional response to the propaganda they've been fed. So let me speak to you in a way that you may be able to comprehend, because regardless of what you're talking about, at the end of the day, when it comes to the law, there are rules that have to be forced and abide by. It makes no sense to sit here and justify overlooking the fact that due process has been failed in this case from the beginning. And it all started with the documentary that led to the charges. But let's give you a brief history on due process, since some of you don't seem to understand what that means.
But what does it mean exactly? Essentially, due process is the legal requirement that a government must respect all of a person's legal rights before taking from them, and I quote, life, liberty, or property. Specific elements of due process include the right to a notice of the charges against you, the opportunity to be heard, and the opportunity to defend yourself. When a system of law ignores any one of these steps before convicting someone, this constitutes a violation of due process and the rule of law. This is not a new idea, by the way. The very concept of due process was originally documented in the Magna Carta. No, the other one. Florida law, like most everywhere, includes within the idea of due process certain protections. For example, you can't be forced to testify against yourself. Due process also means no double jeopardy, which does not mean 2 doses of a TV trivia game show. It means being tried for the same offense twice. It must be remembered that due process only applies to the government, either state or federal, and not necessarily to, say, a private school disciplining a student. The one thing the idea of due process lacks is specifics. It doesn't really outline which exact processes are due. The basic idea is that someone accused of something should have a chance to face her accusers and give her side of the story. So most everyone agrees that, at a minimum, due process must include notice of the accusation, a hearing of some type, and a ruling. The particulars are usually covered in each jurisdiction's code of law for different types of cases. Nonetheless, due process is supposed to apply to all citizens without exception. If you think you're being prevented due process, or just want to find out more about it, visit LegalU, because you have a right to know your rights. LegalU. You can do this.
Meantime, the father of one of R. Kelly's girlfriends calls the singer a predator and a monster who has brainwashed his daughter. This is R. Kelly remains an inmate in the Cook County Jail tonight, still trying to come up with $161,000 he owes in back child support.
Singer R. Kelly's former wife says her ex is pure evil.
He's definitely a monster.
In an exclusive interview,
or anything like that, and I didn't really know about these allegations. And I was spending the last few hours researching about R. Kelly, and this man is a monster.
Mute R. Kelly! Mute R. Kelly! Mute R. Kelly!
sell out arenas, do music, collaborate, write songs. He will continue to use those resources, that power, and that notoriety to lure his victims in. So we are demanding that RCA and Sony Records drop him as a music artist. There's no need for him to continue to be able to tour and make records, and we are demanding that those that are in the music industry to stand out against him, stop collaborating with him, stop doing joint ventures with him, collaborating with events. We need to end it now. He can no longer continue to make money and revenue because he is using those resources to abuse and traumatize victims. So we are taking a stand. There's a petition. If you go to Mute R. Kelly website, you can sign the petition demanding that he is dropped as an artist and is no longer able to make
Breaking news, the Cook County State's Attorney is calling the allegations against R. Kelly in a Lifetime docuseries deeply disturbing, and she is asking any victims related to these allegations to come forward.
What I will say is that if we are going to take these allegations seriously, it requires, this isn't one of those situations where it's just forensics. We need actual witnesses and victims to have the courage to tell their stories.
This news comes as sources say the entertainer is being criminally investigated in Georgia. The investigation was launched over the past few days and is directly connected to the docuseries. R. Kelly has denied all the allegations against him.
This week, Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx kicked off her bid for re-election. Her case for another term is she's moving forward with criminal justice reform and public safety. But the Jussie Smollett saga has left Foxx bruised. She hears the criticism.
Truth is, I didn't handle it well.
When was the moment you realized you messed up?
You know, when I came into office, we had one of the bloodiest years in the city of Chicago in almost 20 years. And when I looked at our resources, we realized that we were spending far too many of our resources on low-level offenses and not enough going after gun violence. And for us, we made a priority to use our resources for violent offenses and for cases that could be dealt with outside of the justice system, we would do that. And this case was treated like the thousands of other cases similar to that.
But it's not.
You didn't treat R. Kelly case like that. Gunless offense, right? All these other women out here are being sex trafficked. Nobody's calling them out. Nobody's looking for these girls that come up missing like clockwork. Nobody's putting a light on these sites such as Craigslist and Backpage and even Instagram that paved the way for a whole lot of sex trafficking. But anyways, I think you see where I'm going with this. Even if you do not like R. Kelly, you hate R. Kelly, you would be fucking blind to not recognize the fact that they are breaking laws and violating his rights, trying to get some charges to stick. And that's a problem.
Singer R. Kelly, attorney Michael Avenatti says he has a videotape allegedly showing Kelly engaging in graphic sex with an underage girl. Now, Avenatti claims this is a different VHS tape than the one used in another criminal case against the star in 2002. And this newly surfaced tape has been handed over to prosecutors in Kelly's hometown of Chicago. This is in addition to an investigation already underway following an explosive Lifetime documentary that featured multiple interviews with women who say they were sexually abused by Kelly, some when they were in their teens. CNN has viewed this tape in question, and CNN's Sarah Seidner is following this for us in Los Angeles.
CNN has viewed this child porn. This lawyer has taken this child porn to CNN. And they ain't even handed this tape over to the damn defense. What type of shit is this? This whole thing is a shit show. And let's get to the bottom of what it's all about. Because some of y'all all the way at the back of the fucking bus. I just find it fucking odd that we see the same shit play out with a different artist, and it don't matter. When you get to a certain level and you want to request your masters, your money-making tool, what you have put out into the world, you become a target. When you speak out against any agenda going on in the industry, you become a target. When you're not playing the game they want you to play anymore, you become a target. So at the end of the day, regardless of what position you stand on with this R. Kelly case, y'all better recognize that this is an assassination right before your eyes. Period. All these broadcasting agencies are all connected. CBS, Sony, Dr. Oz, Oprah, all these people run the same fucking agenda.
At what point I officially became in the industry, and you know, record label wants to make a successful artist. You know what I'm saying? And they can do it. You know what I'm saying? They buy radio time, they buy time on fucking BET and MTV. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it has nothing to do with talent at all. It's, you know what I'm saying? They create fucking stars. I pay for every aspect of getting my album, taking my album from my mind to the stores. I pay for it all. I pay for the studio time. I pay for the living expenses. You know what I'm saying? I pay for the packaging. You know what I'm saying? The pressing of the records, the promotion. I pay for all that shit. And they own the masters. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? I'm paying for it, but they own it. The fuck? I have to be a fucking idiot to continue to operate under these conditions. Like, I'm not. Then the highest paid artists get like 26 cents off the dollar. And they say you shit for $20. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, dog. You can do a little better than that. I can't use my own music without getting your permission. And I paid for it. Not only I wrote it. You know what I'm saying? I paid the nigga for the beat. I paid you for loaning me the money. You know what I'm saying? I paid you back your money. Now we split because you loaned me the money. But you own my shit. I don't owe you a motherfucking thing. Why is you holding on to my shit? And that's standard. Like, man, fuck out of here, man. Suck my fucking dick. You know what I mean? Fuck that. Fuck that. Should be having me heated like a motherfucker, man. You know what I'm saying? When I think about it, I be like, niggas is straight fucking bro. You know these cocksucking motherfuckers have the nerve to fucking offer me the fucking the video game they did. You know what I'm saying? First one did good, so then they coming up with a part 2. They sell the game for $50 fucking. These niggas come to me like, yo, guess what, X? We're gonna do a part 2. Now, mind you, they use my music throughout the whole fucking game, and I'm the hardest character to get to. You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty much like my shit. You know what I'm saying? They say, they come to me and say, yo, we're gonna give you a $25,000 signing bonus, advance, and 2 cents on every game we sell.
Are y'all listening to how the industry works? And artists have come out time and time again and have told us what goes on in the industry. People want to keep going to this Illuminati shit. Okay, cool. But let's just keep focusing on the facts. There's too many artists coming out saying the same thing about the industry. So just take an artist such as R. Kelly, who writes, produces, who does all this work in order to maximize their money, but they're still getting fucked. Because not only are they in a bad deal, they got all these janky ass people around them putting them in bad deals and fucking over their money.
$50 fucking game. You giving me 2 cents? Let me think about that for a minute.
The industry, stay in the dirt, play in the dirt, just to roll in the industry, and you will get hurt. I'm not an industry artist. I'm an artist in the industry. So I do what the fuck I want, because nobody can finish me.
I know everybody remember that when DMX did his thing on the industry. Go look it up and see what he had to say and tell me the story don't sound the exact same as we see play out in front of us. All these people start to wake up out of their trance and want more money, or start to realize they're getting fucked in their contract and something got to give.
What does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul?
Want out. But it's hard. I admit I fuck with all the ladies. That's both older and young ladies. But tell me how they call it pedophile because of that shit. That's crazy. You may have your opinions, entitled to your opinions. But really, am I supposed to go to jail or lose my career because your opinion? Yeah, go ahead and stone me. Point your finger at me. Turn the world against me. But only God can mute me. I admit that I fired some people. I admit that I hired new people. I admit that those people I fired on my mama was crooked ass people. I admit that I...
Now that's funny. I heard all these reviews about this I Admit song, and clearly people were not listening to the fucking words he was saying. Because if you go back and listen to it, you could put the whole story together. I'll pause it right there for a specific reason. If y'all go back from 2015 to the present time, you will notice R. Kelly has been one of the most disrespected artists in the industry. It makes you wonder, who did he piss off to make him such an enemy? Some speculate it was Jay-Z, But hey, take this wax figure, for example. What type of fuck shit is this? This is supposed to be his wax figure. This the fuck ass shit they put in a wax museum to represent R. Kelly in 2015. That's crazy. And then they want to get mad at R. Kelly because when they do get an interview with him, he don't want to talk about nothing scandalous. He wants to focus on the music. But of course, they want to seize an opportunity to get a reaction. Kind of crazy, huh? All these people that are coming out against him can pretty much come out and tell a fucked up story about him. And they won't talk about their role because that would make them an enabler, right? Everybody that wants to speak out negatively about R. Kelly wants to hide. But as I say, what's done in the dark always comes to the light. So we want to really hang this man based on the word of people that have lost their positions, have been caught in crimes of their own, and now want to point the finger.
I admit that I hired new people. I admit that those people I fired on my mama was crooked ass people. I admit that I don't own my music. I admit that I roll on my music. Want it back, but they don't wanna do it. What the fuck, nigga? I wrote that music. I did that bump and grind. I did that 12 play. I did that fed up. I changed the damn game. So I deserve me a fair play. So put some respect on my damn name.
All these people out here, this man put in positions. And I don't know who checked their qualifications, but clearly this man has been going through it throughout his whole career. Having all these shady ass people around him plotting against him It's very sad. So to sit here and ask me, why am I defending a person that is owed the same rights, the same liberty that we all talk about we don't get? Like, how hypocritical is that? We'll be the main people talking about our rights. We're not getting this. This is not fair. But we'll be the main ones to turn a blind eye to clear injustice. One guy even had the audacity to tell me I act like this is my brother. Well, what if it was? We're all brothers and sisters in Christ. But at the end of the day, for the most part, I'm not doing nothing but sharing the things that I find and putting it together for those too lazy to do the same. And even putting it together for those who don't see things the way I see things. Either way it go, I'm going to need for some of y'all to let that hate go. It's 2020. Let's get with some new shit. For all y'all parents sitting out here trying to encourage your kids to be in the industry, why don't you encourage them to get a degree, to start their own business? We see this industry is set up to keep us distracted and in the same repetitive dumbass cycle of poverty, watching other people floss shit that really don't belong to them on the internet. People selling their souls for a little buck. People doing the most scandalous shit for a little bit of clout. Is it really worth it? I know some of you are so perfect, but for those of you with a little bit of heart in you, if this case is really disturbing you to the point that you're losing all touch of common sense, all touch of reality, you might need to just step away and go pray. For the Team Truthers coming over here with your comments, say that shit. Save it. Spend your time trying to motivate these young people into doing better than what we see. And maybe we could end this cycle of people allowing themselves to be misused. Let's not say abused. Let's say misused. Because if you allow people to misuse and mistreat you, do not come back and expect people like me to feel sorry for you. You are not abused. With that being said, have a great day. Free R. Kelly. Y'all get what I'm trying to say. This man's rights have been violated in every which way, from soliciting these so-called victims to showing this so-called child porn, to the way this whole case has been put out in public view. How can he get a fair trial? Just think about it.